again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. How are all of you doing today? As per usual, I'm doing pretty good because I get to show you how to make another fabulous project, and I'm very excited. All right, so today I am going to show you how to make a Virus meets Granny Kaleidoscope blanket. Yes, very, very excited because I love the virus pattern. I love the granny stitch. Merging them together, it's a lot of fun, but I thought let's crank it up a notch. So that's where we're at today. And I want to thank Lion Brand for sponsoring today's video. In fact, it's going to be more than just a video. It's going to be a small series because we have a lot of ground to cover. Indeed, we do. And for today, I'm going to be using Pound of Love in two gorgeous colors. And for those of you that are not familiar, I love Pound of Love. It is one of my go-to yarns because it's got the yardage and they have a lot of really cool colors. Link in the description box down below as per usual. Now for today, going to be using, well, we have, this is the colorway of Stone right here. It reminds me of sort of like a slate, if you will. And then this one right here is Sugar Cookie. I do make a mean sugar cookie, let me tell you. Now, the yardage. This is why I love this yarn. It is over 1,000 yards. It is a medium weight of 4, and it is 100% acrylic. And yet, it is nice and pliable and soft. So that is why this is one of my go-to yarns. So thank you, Lion Brand, for sponsoring today. And, well, like I said, we've got a lot of ground to cover. We're going to see how far we can get in this episode and, well, continue on from there. So, oh, and one more thing. With this yarn, which I said is a weight of 4, going to be using a 6mm size J crochet hook. Now, of course, you can use whatever works best for you, but I always like to let you know what it is that I use, so we can go from there. All right, let's get busy. Round 1. Yes, beginning at the beginning. And going to start with our obligatory slip knot as per usual. And a chaining of 5. You know, usually when doing something in the round, I do a chaining of 4, but we're going to need a lot of initial double crochets. For those of you that are familiar with the Virus meets Granny square blanket pattern, this is going to be very familiar ground for you, but I like to be thorough, so we are starting from scratch. So, I'm going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then slip stitch to the first chain to create a ring. There we are. And then we need 20 double crochets in this ring. Yeah, it seems like a lot, but trust me, it'll work. So chain up 2. Now that chaining of 2 is not going to count as our first double crochet. It's just to give us the height. So do not mind this little guy right here. Just sort of overlook him at the moment. So 20 double crochets into this center ring. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 more to go. Now, it's at this point that you want it to be basically half of your ring filled. If not, if you've taken up more space, just sort of scooch your stitches back along the ring. They do move nicely, so not to worry. Also, I am crocheting over my tail as I go to make it a little bit easier further down. Okay, so I already got 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. Scooch. 16. 17. Scooch. 18. 19, and this should be 20 if my counting is correct. And yes, going to double count because the math is very important. All right, so skipping this little guy at the very beginning. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of this first double crochet. This chain 2 does not count, but we're going to go into the top of that double and slip stitch. There we go. Like so, and that is the end of round 1. And then you can take your tail and then sew it in underneath all of those stitches, pull it nice and taut. I like to do a couple of rounds before I do that, get more established first. But that is round 1. Round 2. Okay, round 2, basically we're going to just be doubling every stitch. So we're going to go from 20 stitches up to 40 stitches. And again, going to start off by chaining up 2, again, just to give us the height. And then going into this first stitch with 2 double crochets, and we're going to do the same thing in every stitch all the way around. So 2 stitches in the one, then 2 double crochet stitches in the next, and so on and so forth all the way around until you have a total of 40 double crochet stitches. And then when you have done that and double counted, yes, I'm holding you accountable, then when you've gone all the way around and you have your 40 double crochet stitches, you then slip stitch again into that first double crochet, and that will be the end of round 2. Now, I'm going to do the rest of this off camera, and I will meet back up with you in a jiffy. See you soon. All right, round 3. Well, we're going to keep the same number of stitches, but we're going to expand them a bit with chain 1 spaces. So we're still going to have a total of 40 double crochets, but with chain 1 spaces in between. So going to chain up 3, and that is going to count as our first double and chain 1 space. And then quite simply just go into not this first stitch, but into the next with a double, chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double in the next, and so on and so forth all the way around. And then I'm going to show you the join. So I'm going to do the vast majority of this round off camera, but I will meet back up with you so that we can seal the deal and finish up round 3 together. And then, well, then, in my opinion, that's where the fun stuff comes in, following thereafter. The beginning of this pattern, it's sort of meh, but it gets going, it gets cooking. So I will see you in just a moment. I'm just going to keep on keeping on by double crocheting and chaining 1, and I will see you shortly. All right, so I've been working my way around. I just have 3 more doubles to go, so then we can do our join. So chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double in the last one, chain 1, and then going to slip stitch into the second chain from the bottom so that we still have a chain 1 space in between our doubles. Now, when initially doing this round, you could do a chaining up of 4, but I found that when it comes to height, equating 2 chains as the height of a double crochet, personally, I think it looks a lot neater and a lot more uniform with the rest of our stitches here, as opposed to chaining up a total of 4. The 3 is your double, and then you end up with like a really big space. You know, see, that looks pretty much the same as that. So that is the reason behind me doing what I do. You know, there is a method to the madness. And then that is the end of round 3. So now on to the fun stuff with round 4. Okay, so round 4, this is where things start to become a little bit more, square shape, if you will. It's going to look a little nebulous at first, but we're going to actually create 4 corners in this round, so to speak. So to begin with, start by slip stitching into this next chain space right there, and then going to actually chain up 1 and single crochet into that space. That's going to give us an anchor point. Now, chain up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is going to be half of our corner. We're going to do the second half upon the return to this corner point. Then skipping a chain space, going into the next with a single crochet. And this is one of our big loops. Then we need to do a total of 3 small loops. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skipping a chain space, going to the next with a single. So we got a big loop, got a little loop. We need 2 more little loops. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space, going into the next with a single. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip a space, going into the next with a single. So this is going to be one of the sides of our square blanket. Now, well, we need to do a corner. Chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, going into the next with a single. Chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, going to the next with a single. So these 2 loops, that is a full corner. So we've got half of a corner, a side, and a full corner. Well, back to doing 3 little loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, going to the next with a single. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, into the next with a single. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, go into the next with a single. And we have our 3 small loops. Time for 2 more big loops. You know, when I'm counting out, I sound like an aerobics instructor, I guess. I don't know. Calisthenics. All right, so we need 2 big loops. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, going to the next with a single. Chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, into the next with a single. So we've got a full corner right here. Now we need 3 more small loops. chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single, chain 4. 1, oops, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. And one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. Time for another corner. 7 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. All right, so we have 3 full corners. So we need to do another side. So chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. And then we need to do the last of our big loops. So chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then going to quite simply just slip stitch into that single crochet that we did. And there you go. So yes, it does look like a half melted record, but if you lay it out, and don't worry if it is wibbly wobbly at the moment, that is all right, because once we have more fabric around it, it will straighten itself out. So you can see that we have our 2 big loops, 2 big loops, 2 big, 2 big, and then our 3 in between them as you go around. And there you go. Also, if you're not able to have it, lay reasonably flat at this point, you may want to reconsider and use a different hook size, okay, to help mitigate some of the buckling. That happens with, a person's tension when it's, the yarn weight versus the hook size versus the tension. That is a factor. But as you can see, even though it started off looking absolutely crazy, it does lay nice and flat. That being said, let's press on to the next round. Okay, round 5. All right, so we ended round 4 by doing a slip stitch into the single here. Well, continue on by doing a slip stitch into this chain 7 space. And then we're going to need a total of 10 double crochets into this chain 7 space. Again, start off by chaining up 2 just to give us the height. So we got a chaining up of 2, and then going to do 10 double crochets into the space. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and yes, I'm going to double count because it it pays off, trust me, especially when you're working in the round. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. When working in rows, that's one thing. When working in rounds and the entire circumference, so to speak, of the project is one round, yeah, it's a good thing to count. All right, so we did our 10 doubles. Now, into this chain 4 space, single crochet, anchor it down, and then chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single into the next space, chain 4 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, single into the next space. Okay, now we've got our 2 large loops, going to do 10 doubles in each. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then 10 in the next one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this should be 10. All right, let me just put some more yarn whilst we're at it. Okay. And double check. Okay. Also, this is this is a stumbling block, perhaps. For some, for me, it definitely was, because this right here looks like it could be a double crochet, with a single crochet on top. No, this is our chain. So do not count this little trickster right here. Do not count that one. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Perfect. Okay, so then that is our corner finished. And then we need to anchor this side down with a single into this next chain space right here. Single, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single in the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, and then we're going to do the exact same thing by doing 10 doubles in here, 10 doubles in here, and then we anchor it down with a single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, chain 4, single crochet, 10 doubles, anchor it with a single, chain 4, single, chain 4, single, 10 doubles in here, and then slip stitch to join. I'm going to meet back up with you around here. I'm not going to do the entire round, but I think I got you started sufficiently. So I'll meet back up with you in just a little bit, and we'll finish up this round together. I'll see you soon. Okay, so I've been tooling along, and I just did one corner. I just have this side and the second half of this corner to go, so let's get to it. I did my 10 and my 10. Anchor it down with a single crochet into the chain 4 space. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anchor it with a single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single in the next space. Okay, now 10 more in this chain 7 space right here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And yes, I'm going to double check. It's paranoia, can't help it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay. Some people err on the side of caution. I err on the side of paranoia. That's my motto. All right, and then slip stitch into the top of that first double, like so. Join it, and there you are. And so, yes, it is, I admit, yes, it is still wibbly wobbly. However, as I have proven once before, that if you finesse it a little bit, it will lay flat. There we go. And I'll give you an aerial shot as well. There you go. Looking nice and pretty. But yeah, we have a long way to go. This is just the beginning. So let's keep at it. Okay, round 6. This is an easy one because basically we're just doing doubles in the doubles and anchoring where needs be in the chain 4 spaces. So this round is going to fly by. Start off by chaining up 2, again, just to give us the height. And then into every double crochet, just do a double crochet. So it's going to be 10 on this half of the corner. And you really don't, I would say you really don't need to double count as long as you are aware of the counterfeit doubles over here. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. It's where we anchored to the chain 4 spaces. Yeah, they look like they could be, but they are not actually doubles. Okay, see, we've got an actual double right here, and this is the counterfeit one. So this is the double. And right there, as you can see, that is the chain with the single on top. So do not do a double crochet into this stitch right here. No, no, no. Going to do a single crochet into the chain space, and then chain 4, single crochet into the next chain 4 space, and then do a total of 20 double crochets, 10 and 10, and again, making sure that you do not go into this single right here. No, we're going into the double because it's going into the chain space, as you can see. So I'm going to do my 20 doubles, and then do my anchor points, and then continue on around in the same fashion all the way around. Excuse me. I hope I'm not coming down with a cold. Got the sniffles. All right. So we've got our 10 right there. Then just do the next 10. And if you really want to be, cautious, careful, and thorough, yes, of course, you can double check the number of double crochets. Just make sure that it's 20 in each corner. Pardon me. I am sorry for sniffling right in your ear, but there we go. Okay, so we've got all of those. Then immediately single crochet into the chain 4 space, chain 4, single into the next chain 4 space, and do another 20 anchor, chain 4, anchor, anchor with the single crochet, and then do another 20, and then anchor with a single, chain 4, single, and then going to do another 10, and then slip stitch to join in that first double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to finish up off camera, and I will see you in a bit. Okay, round 7. So round 6, yes, I finished that up off camera. Gonna give you a visual. Oh, it's so pretty. I do love it oh so much. All right, now round 7, again, it's going to be pretty darn simple because we're going to be introducing chain 1 spaces in between our doubles, just like we did, down here. We're going to do that up here. So let's get to work. Okay, so again, just like we did down below, we're going to chain up 3, and that's going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. So we're going to have 10 doubles with chain 1 spaces, and then going to bridge the gap and go to the next bit. So we've got our double crochet and chain 1 space, then not going into this first double, but going into the second double. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and so on and so forth for the first half of this corner. Until we've got 10 doubles under our belt. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3 more to go. Again, being careful about the deceptive pseudo double crochets that are actually single crochets attached to our anchor points. Got to be careful of those. They are sneaky little boogers. Okay, so this should be a total of 10. So we've got ourselves 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Perfect. Okay, so then scooting right along, footloose and fancy free. Now, you could go about this in one of 2 ways. You could go directly from here to your next double with no chain 1 space in between, or you could do a chain 1 space at this point. That is subjective. That is up to you. I'm going to leave out the chain 1. All right, so going directly from this double, going to do a double in my first double on this corner over here. So leaping over this chain 4 space, going to go right in with a double. And you want this to be a little bit taut so that it doesn't look saggy. You want it to be a relatively nice, clean join from one double to the next. You can undo it and do it again, but once you've gone around, well, you're kind of stuck with it. So got my double, chain 1, double in the next, chain 1, double in the next, and this is going to be a series of 20 double crochets with chain 1 spaces, and then we'll do the next corner in exactly the same way. And then when we get to the full circle point, going to be just doing 10 doubles with chain 1 spaces in between, and then slip stitch to the second chain from the bottom of this first double. First chain, second chain. So we're going to be slip stitching right into here, leaving that chain 1 space, slip stitching right into there, and there you go. So I'm just going to be working my way around in my fashion, doing my double, chain 1 space, double, chain 1 space, and bridging the gap in between one corner and the next. So it's really that easy, this round is. and I figure I'll do the rest of this round off camera. As much as I love being thorough, I don't like being redundant. It's a fine and delicate balance, but we do what we can. So, that being said, I'm going to do the rest of this round off camera, and I will meet back up with you in a bit. Okay? I'll see you shortly. All right, so round 8, we're going to start a new series of virus clusters. And first, going to give you the quick aerial visual. So we have our chain 1 spaces in between our doubles, and we are good to go. Now, in this round, we're going to incorporate new large holes and small holes, as well as incorporating a new chain 7 space arching this area right here. Okay, so that being said, let's get started. So I finished off by doing my double, my chain 1, and then slip stitching to the second chain from the bottom of our first double. Well, we need to back it up a little bit, and to do that, going to chain 1, but then do a single crochet in the previous chain 1 space, back it up. So chain 1, and then into that space, do a single crochet. We're not going forward, we're going back. You know, it's not a big deal, but it does help as far as the count regarding where we need to go into. So chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip a space, going into the next with a single. And again, this is half of our corner. Then we need to do 3 small little loops. 1, oops, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a space, single in the next. It's always in increments of 3 initially when you're doing your little loops. Now we need a big loop, and going to do our chaining of 7, and we're going to skip this space, and this space. We're going to go into this space here. So technically we're skipping 3 spaces, and then we're going to go into this 4th one right here. So chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So skip, 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 and single into that next space, like so. So skip, skip, skip. All right, then going to do 3 small loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. All right, so we've got our 3 small loops. Now we need to do 2 big loops. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip a space, single in the next. And then we need 3 little loops. We got our 2 big, and we need 3 little ones. So 4, 1, oops, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. And it is time for another large loop. And we're going to skip this one, and this one, and we're going to go into this space right here. So chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip, skip, skip. Single in the next. Chain 4, because we need 3 small loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. And then we need 2 big loops for the corner. So chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip and single. 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip and single. We need 3 small loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. There we are. Then we need another big chain 7 loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip, skip, skip. Single in the next. 3 small loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. Okay, need 2 large. And we will get there. Okay, so I just did my 3 small ones. I need 2 large ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip and single. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip and single. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another little loop. Skip and single. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. Okay, we need to do another large loop. Chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip, skip, skip. Single in that next one. Okay, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip and single. And then, last but not least, need to chain 7, and then we get to join again with a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and then slip stitch into that single crochet that we did, like so. And to finish up, slip stitch into this chain 7 space. And that, my dears, is that for round 8. Now we've got new loops to contend with, bridging the gap in between the corners as well. So we've got 2 in each corner, 1 in the center of each side, and we are tooling along beautifully. All right, let's keep at it. Okay, so we have time for one more round, so let's do round 9 together. Now it's going to be very similar to what we've done previously, where we fill in the chain 7 spaces with 10 doubles and sort of do an arch way of, sort of a lattice work in between. So I'm going to start off by chaining up 2, and that's just to give us the height, and then 10 doubles into the chain 7 space. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay. Moving right along. Going to anchor this down with a single in the next space. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single in the next space, anchor that down, and then again, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, anchor this down with another single, and we have another chain 7 space. So 10 doubles into that space. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Single crochet to anchor it down in the chain 4 space. Chain 4. Single in the next space to anchor it. 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. Single in the next chain 4 space. And then we need to do 10 and 10 in these 2 chain 7 spaces. So let's get to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 doubles in the next chain 7 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, if I'm not completely delusional, which is a possibility. All right, let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, just grab a wee bit more yarn, and then we'll do another bit of the side, and then I'm going to do the rest off camera because it really follows suit. You know, the 4 sides are the same. I'm not doing anything differently, but again, I like to be thorough. Thorough, not redundant. Okay, so we did our 10 and our 10. Anchor it down in the next chain 4 space with a single crochet. Chain 4. 1, 2, Whoops, hello. 2, 3, 4, single in the next space. 1, 2, 3, 4, single in the next space. And then we have another chain 7 gaps. So 10 doubles in that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and should be 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, and then anchor it down with a single in the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, chain 4, single in the next space, and then we are back where we started, where we need to do 10 doubles and 10 doubles for the corner. And then you're going to work your way around. And when you get to this point here, you're going to do your 10 doubles in here, anchor it down with a single, chain 4, single, chain 4, single, then 10 doubles in here, and then going to do a slip stitch to the first double, and that will finish up your round. So I'm going to keep working off camera, and I will see you shortly. Okay, so after finishing round 9, all of our chain 7 spaces have 10 doubles in each. We continue to do the sort of chain lattice work in between, and there you go. So sorry for the funky camera work. So we are going to leave off for now. So this is part 1 of the Virus Meets Granny Kaleidoscope blanket. It's early days still, and I figure in the next part of this tutorial series, we are going to get into the granny aspect, where we're going to incorporate our secondary color. Frankly, I decided to use the lighter color for the virus work, and I'm going to use the darker stone blue color. It's like a lovely blue-gray. Going to use this for the granny stitches, but that will come in the next part of this series. As always, want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you're enjoying this so far. As always, there are timestamps in the description box down below. If you want to recap, if I'm going a little bit too fast for you, I apologize, but that's what the timestamps are there for. And also, again, a big thank you to Lion Brand for sponsoring this video series. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video, part 2 of this series. Have a great day, everybody, and bye for now.